So, April 2nd, no longer April Fools. And Max Holloway versus Khabib Nurmagomedov is official. It's real, it's happening. Tony's out. Him and Khabib are now tied 2-2 in pullouts versus each other. And very unfortunate. I know everybody was really, really looking forward to that fight. I particularly was, because I don't have too much of a rooting interest for either guy. I was probably going to root towards Tony, just being the underdog. Naturally, I tend to root for the underdogs in situations like that, but MMA is a sport where I don't like to be too emotionally invested in, so I try not to have favorite fighters. I try to appreciate almost all fighters, but Khabib and Tony was that one. It was the highest level. It's like with each time the fight got canceled, it got bigger. First it was a fight night co-main event, Edgar Mendez card, and then it got pushed to a Fox main event the second time, and then the third time after they both win and are deserving of a title shot. Tony beating RDA, Khabib beating Michael Johnson on the same card that Conor won his belt before he took his hiatus to go do the whole Mayweather thing. Tony and Khabib last year booked a fight for a third time, and Khabib misses weight. We thought, man, 2018, fourth time's a charm. It was looking great, I had no thoughts of this fight even getting canceled again, apart from somebody missing weight again, and I felt like the way Khabib made weight last time against Barboza, 155.5 with shorts on, it was going to be, with the help of his nutritionist, an easier task. Tony pulling out on the week of the fight is not anything anybody anticipated, and here we are. Still kind of sad, but think about Max versus Khabib now. That's a hell of a fight. It's a tremendous 155 fight, and I know Max is the 145 champ, and everybody's writing him off, but I'm not. His takedown defense over the last 4 or 5 years has become superb, and he hasn't faced anybody like Khabib, certainly in the grappling department. But one thing about Khabib is he loves to get his takedowns from the clinch and against the cage, sometimes a combination of both, but Max Holloway is terrific against the fence. He's got that long base, those long legs. It's really, really hard to get your hands clamped together. Khabib's going to be certainly switching to singles, switching overhook inside trip, overhook outside trip, underhook inside trips, all kinds of different things if he can lock up with Max. But the thing about Max is his footwork much cleaner than Tony Ferguson. I know Tony's doing the salsa, and he is very flashy with all of his movement, whether he's actually striking or just moving. But Max, he has those short choppy steps. He never gets his head over his feet. He never overextends. His length, he uses his length better than Tony. Probably doesn't have the pop in his hands, but he's a much better combination puncher. And his cardio can't be questioned. I know he's taking this fight on short notice, so it's fair to question what type of shape he's going to be in. I don't think he's going to be in bad shape at all. I think he'll stay. I think he stays ready. I think he was, at the conference call a month ago, he was saying, hey, one of these guys pull out, I'm your man, I'm ready, I'm not far from 155 anyways. After I finish off Frankie, I'm probably going to go to 155, so he's going to have a potentially easy cut. I know I've heard that from him that he walks around 170 over 170. Khabib's probably going to rehydrate up to 170 himself. I don't expect Max to be much lower than 170 coming into fight night. So I don't think there's going to be too big of a size difference, to be honest. I'm sure Khabib can walk around close to 200. I always kind of don't take much stock in that when him and Tony say, oh, I'm 200 pounds in the offseason. Oh, I'm 210 pounds. Like, yeah, okay, neither one of you guys are Gleason Tebow walking into that octagon. But, so, let's go forward thinking, okay, everyone thinks Khabib's going to win. So what if he does? He goes out there and he looks very impressive. I'm not sure Conor's going to want that mess, I think Conor probably should have already had that mess and stepped up to that challenge. The money's not right, whatever. I think a Khabib victory brings a lot of it gives him a lot of validation, you know, as one of the best 155 champions, one of the best fighters at 155, one of the most dominant fighters at 155 to capture the belt. His title run, looking back, will be been pretty elongated and, you know, a process that shouldn't have been as long, but he had all those injuries, you know, against the Cowboy fights and the Tony fights. And if you look back, though, the Barboza win, RDA, Michael Johnson, and if he beats Max Holloway, that'll be a hell of a run. So props to Khabib on getting here, and if he is able to win. And then for Tony Ferguson, I'm not sure. I feel bad for him, man. I'm not sure if the LCL is as bad as they say it is. If so, he could be out a whole year. If not, he might be back this fall. It could be a 4 to 6 week thing, a little extra rehab, start a camp by the end of summer, maybe take on the winner. And if he does take on the winner, what type of shape is he going to be in? And Tony's getting 34, 35 now, and he's pulled out for the first time in his career 2 of his last 4 fights, so he might be on the start of the backside of his career. Hopefully not. Hopefully he can make a full recovery and, you know, get back ASAP. So what if Max wins? What if Max wins the 155 belt and beats Khabib Nurmagomedov on 6 days' notice, becoming the champ? Does he, you know, maybe he wants to drop right back down and defend his 145 belt while holding the 155 belt, what Conor couldn't do this summer, and then maybe he takes on Conor in the spring, or excuse me, in the fall. Dana said, Conor said he's interested in coming back September. Dana says a lot of things, so can't put too much stock into that. But if Max pulls this off, man, you're talking about a 13-fight winning streak, champ, 2-division champ, simultaneous, having really, really earned his spot at featherweight a lot more than Conor. No, Conor was able to take out Mendez when he filled in on short notice, and he iced Aldo. But there's a little bit of JDS Kane 1 to that Conor Aldo fight, and I know a lot of people were clamoring for the rematch. Conor never had to do that. Max about to fight Frankie. He's like, yeah, I'll fight Aldo again. You know, prove. And this time he took a different approach, circled the opposite way, fought a lot of different stance, pressured more, didn't have to. Could have just sat back and waited for Aldo to, you know, gas himself out, exploding like he did in the first fight. Max didn't do that. Max is smart. Max is so smart in there. His game planning, his ability to adjust on the fly, and now the thing with Khabib is it's going to be hard to adjust to that, man. You're talking about a straightforward, come at you, Terminator, but he is very flat-footed. He does enter the clinch very recklessly. You see Khabib a lot of times he'll come in like this. His hands are below his chin. And if you can throw some straight rights to the body over and over and over, get him to drop those like that, when he comes into the clinch to try to grab a hold of you, that's why I like Tony, because Tony can come across, maybe parry first and then come across with the elbow, come up with the elbow, maybe miss on a hook and then come up with the elbow. Tony was so creative with those elbows, not only being able to cut, but being able to drop and rock. Go back and look at the Thompson fight, was a masterclass at using step-in elbows from all different angles. Against Barboza, he used them very well. Against Lando, he used them a couple times. RDA, and I'm not sure Max quite has that type of. So I'm not sure. That's the one thing about Max. He doesn't have the KO power, but he's gonna have to do what Holly Holm did to Ronda Rousey, and he's gonna have to stick and move. Straight shot, pivot out, circle, jab, pivot, circle the other way, and get off the cage, stay off the cage, stay in the center of the octagon. He's got to stay in the center of the octagon and bust up Khabib with the jab high-low, the straight shot high-low. Don't throw a lot of hooks. Khabib's going to duck under that, rush in past it even. He's not a guy that's going to do a lot of 1-2 level change for the takedown, but he will just bull rush in, and the hook will come behind him like that. If you're throwing those wide looping hooks. I know Max doesn't throw a lot of wide shots, but he can't throw anything wide because Khabib's coming on a straight line all the time. Khabib doesn't move his head. That's one thing. Khabib does not have any head movement, and anytime he actually throws his hands, his other hand, if he throws that left, he likes to throw the looping left hook or the straight right. Anytime he throws the looping left hook, he's here. And he drops his right hand, and he throws that straight right, he's here, and he drops that left hand. He's never here, he's never here, he's never here, here. He's always here, and there's space wide open to be countered. He's got a great chin. Max doesn't have the power, so that's pretty unlikely. And Max is going to catch it, but he can stun him. If he can stun him, pop him with the, like he did all the 1-2, step back, 1-2, again. Maybe pivot out on the second one. Make Khabib come forward, and you're not there. It's got to get Khabib frustrated. But Max is long too. He's long and big. If you remember the stare down against Frankie Edgar, he made Frankie look like a 135er. He certainly made him look fairly small. And Frankie looked smaller than Ortega too. But Max is a big 5'11", long, lanky, and he's stronger and I think more built than people give him credit for. And I think he's going to be a lot bigger and more built at 155. Look at how Connor, Poirier, these other guys at 145, they weren't the biggest, most jacked guys at 45. Now you look at them at 155, they're so filled out. And I think Holloway has a chance to come in and surprise people, not only with his skills, but I think turn some heads with the stare downs when he's looking down at Khabib. He's a warrior. He's a Hawaiian warrior, and he's got that blood. He's like what the Diaz brothers, wish they were. All respect to Diaz brothers. I love them. Big fan of both. But Max is the guy who will step up and fight Khabib Nurmagomedov on short notice. To do that takes balls. Takes Doug Peterson balls, 4th and 1, the Philly special balls, and I'm very excited for Max versus Khabib. I know a lot of people are writing it off, people are still sulking, but a lot of people, they want a reason to complain, they want a reason to see the glass half empty. I'm seeing it half full, because you still got Rose and Joanna. That's still a great fight. Paul Felder and Ally Quinta, Pettis and Chiesa, those are scraps. Qatar versus Moicano. Moicano's only lost to Ortega, and that was tit for tat. If you want to be honest, Moicano beat Stevens, did better against Ortega than Frankie did. Moicano might be the dark horse at 145 that no one's talking about. I know a lot of people are high on Zabit. He's very talented, doesn't quite have the resume yet. Bekchik's still coming up. Volkanovski's coming up. Yair's probably been a little overrated. He doesn't really have any wins over anybody in the top 15. And it's a very, very exciting weight class, even if Max does leave. And if he stays at 155, man, MMA is a crazy, 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 crazy sport. A month ago, if you said Max versus, he was still recovering from that ankle injury, which he was surfing at the beach the week of UFC 222. He's been healed. I know a lot of people say, oh, he has ankle surgery. He never had surgery. He just had an ankle sprain. He played it up a little bit, negotiating ploy because he didn't want to turn right back around and fight Ortega in June. He wanted to push it off till July. He did what he had to do. But all in all, Max Holloway is the hero that MMA doesn't deserve, but desperately needed, and we got him. And I know most people out there probably rooting for Max just because of the underdog and the nature of the whole way this thing came together. So I'm going to be rooting for Max. Can't help it. If Khabib wins, welcome to the Khabib era, welcome to the Minshew era. Yeah. And I'm still looking forward to this fight week. I'm looking forward to seeing all the interviews, seeing what other media has to say about this. I'm just a fan making a video for the first time. Been meaning to do this, but this type of situation, I guess, beckoned me more than others to get on it. So if you guys like my opinion, thanks. If you don't, tell me why not. And I'll maybe be back this week. I'll certainly be back with a post-fight dissection of UFC 223 in the middle of Saturday night, Sunday morning, to recall what goes down and how this all plays out and where we go from here, which is almost as exciting as thinking about the fights themselves. So I'm signing off here. God bless you all, and happy fight week.